Let me welcome all of you to the July meeting for NEBA. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Appreciate all of y'all, some of y'all attending the City of Tallahassee budget workshop that was on July 13th. Despite a poll that was done by Florida Tax Watch and NEBA and the Budget Hawks and Citizens for Responsible Spending, which showed that a majority of Tallahasseans wanted their property tax decreased, and despite the fact that we showed them exactly how they could do that to roll it back to the 3.7 mils, I guess we'll have to claim victory for a measly 0.1% on the property tax millage rate. So it's a little embarrassing. But you know what was so interesting about the poll, and if you haven't seen the poll, please go to the NEBA website because we have the entire poll there. I worked with the pollsters to write the question, so I had one question that I insisted on having in there. And that question was, what do you think the chances are that the mayor and the Tallahassee City Commission will listen to what you want them to do? What do you guess? 72% of the Tallahasseans polled said that they did not believe that the mayor and the city commission would listen to them. So you know what? They were right after all. I'm going to introduce Ted Thomas, who's our program chair, who's going to moderate our candidate forum and talk about the rules today. Peggy Monroe is going to be our timekeeper, and she looks real mean today. So guys, don't go over the time. Okay, Ted, take it away, bud.
We've got more microphones here than almost as many as candidates. We're going to start on the very right. Nancy, you are up first, and we'll move this way with the candidates. Introduce yourself, and you have 2 minutes. Peggy has your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Nancy Calhoun. I'm a candidate for District 2. I'm a novice at running for public office. I've never done this before, but I have learned a lot in the last 30 days since I officially got on the ballot. I've learned that once you are on the ballot, you automatically become a millionaire. Everybody wants money from you. You would not believe the people that ask the money that they want from you for various reasons. Number 2, I learned a little bit about the media. The media sees you as not speaking English anymore and chooses to interpret what you say, and they also throw in misinformation. That did happen to me. Also, some candidates wing it, and they may steal your platform. That being said, I've lived in District 2 for 45 years. I've chosen to live in District 2 because I live on the very edge of the Apalachicola National Forest. I'm also a birder, and I enjoy walking into the forest and getting to know all the creatures, which I have learned from observation. That is how I keep myself sane. And I do like the small town feel of being there. I can get up on Sunday morning and go to the post office and not see one person or one car on the road, and you can't do that anywhere else in Tallahassee. I love my neighbors. I have worked on the south side. I have watched it grow, and I have also watched it falter. In the last 25 to 30 years, we have had an exodus of people that have moved to Wakulla County and other parts of Leon because of the school systems. The school systems are rated D with the exception of Fort Braden, which is a C. Families do not want to move, just get married, move into our district, buy a house, and send their children to failing schools. So even though I am or may be on the county commission, I think I need to shake hands with the school board and see what we can do about our failing schools. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jimbo Jackson. I'm a candidate for District 2 County Commissioner. I want to start by saying I got really scared when I walked in and I saw former Sheriff Eddie Boone seated back there, because my parents always told me when I was younger, if I didn't behave, they were going to take me to Eddie Boone's house. So I was relieved to know that he's retired and that Mike Wood has not offered that lately. So I've been a school administrator in Leon County and a public educator for the last 24 years. All 24 of those years I've served at a school located in District 2, which was Fort Braden, and Ms. Calhoun was so nice to mention that we were one of the non-DRS schools in District 2. In that time, my family and I have raised 2 wonderful daughters and just added a granddaughter 5 months ago. We have lived in that area for 42 years. I came to the area as a youngster, very young child, and attended schools in District 2 at Fort Braden, Nims, and Godby High School. I look forward to serving the citizens of District 2.
Howdy, I'm Kirk Heedley Purdue. You all know me as Kirk Works. I am delighted to be here. I am a candidate for County Commission District 2. I don't know how many folks know that we have the biggest land mass of any of the districts. It runs from I-10 all the way around the truck route into town, out Fort Braden, down the Crawfordville Highway, and into Woodville. It is a huge district. And having said that, I got ahead of myself. I want to tell you I'm a native Tallahassean. I've been here 65 years. I'm not probably supposed to say that. I saw my mother roll over in her grave. And the only bad thing about being a speaker up here is I didn't get any fried chicken, which I've gotten used to on our Tuesdays. So anyway, I'm delighted to be here. And I think District 2, like other areas in this community, deserves transparency. They need to know what's going on before, not after the fact. I think keeping people appraised is important. I've been working for District 2 for more than a year now. As you all, most of you know, I ran for commissioner against Jane Sauls. I was looking at the time, sorry, last time, and we almost took it with 45% of the vote. So I look forward to your support and also your feedback about what you think is important about this community and about our county as a whole. And congratulations to the for the gains you all did make on the city level. Thank you.
Thank you. I am Manny Joannis, and I ask you to support me to be your business advocate, as I have always been. Let me be your cheerleader again. As your advocate, I will treat you with respect. I will advocate that Tallahassee, Leon County, appreciate what small businesses do. I will advocate for property tax relief. I will advocate for the gas tax relief, for development fee relief, for concurrency fee relief, and for relief on permitting timelines. Let you and I be partners again.
Hello everyone, I'm TJ Lewis. I've spoken to this body before. I always appreciate you all having me here. I am a commercial realtor for Talcor, and I am the founder of UrbanTallahassee.com. For about a decade, we've been tracking the growth of our city. I've worked for state or local government for about a decade, past decade. I attended Florida State. I grew up right here in Tallahassee. I graduated from Lincoln High School. I am a resident of District 2. I'm probably the only one of us at the table right now who lives inside the city limits. So I pay government taxes to both the city and the county. I am running for District 2 on a platform of smart growth. And I like to tell everybody what smart growth is, because it sort of encompasses the reasons why most all of us are running for county commission. So as a commissioner, I understand that a community has 2 ways to grow. There's a traditional way that communities have grown that has supported suburban style development. We build on the fringes of our communities because the land is cheaper, and we build new roads, we build new schools, we build new fire stations, new parks, new underground infrastructure. All of that costs money. We stretch our city out. Law enforcement has to patrol new territory. That's the old way of growing. I am running on a platform of smart growth because I want to inspire growth where we already have infrastructure. The main reason is because I want to save us money as taxpayers. But the other reason is because I want to revitalize our city and make the current fabric of our community, the current bones of the city of Tallahassee and Leon County stronger. So as your District 2 Commissioner, you'll hear me talk about smart growth a lot, and I'll address it to every issue you've got, because I think smart growth and its approach and where we build things can do great things for Leon County and Tallahassee. So I appreciate you all having me here, and I look forward to your support. Thank you.
I have 1 minute. With Blueprint Economic Development money becoming available soon, what will be your criteria in awarding money to ensure that local businesses are not hurting by government-sponsored competition?
Over $20 million, I believe, is on schedule to come to decision makers in 2020. I believe that it's going to require more than just local government officials, as well as university and local university representatives. I believe that we need to have a full range of shareholders in the discussions regarding the spending of that money. We know that much of the utilities that are paid by our university system are untaxed, and that they get a break that no one else does. I think that it's important that we have both large and small business owners at the table when those discussions occur. The change in our economic development initiatives has restructured the entire decision making, and without having multiple inputs, I would be very concerned about the monies and how they would be allocated.
The Blueprint sales tax money, the $90 million that's scheduled over the course of the time that they're collecting this, is essential to the mission, which is keeping citizens informed and involved. I think there needs to be meaningful input, and I think there needs to be more than a balance, if you will, between small businesses and privately run businesses, and the way things are currently set up now, which primarily gets input from the larger government entities. The people that are on AI are not representative necessarily of this group, and I think that's important. I think we ought to look at how we spend the money while we remember that some of it has already been earmarked for a convention center and for other things. So we need to keep
Thank
that.
you. Best I can do is just give you a brief indication of what my business philosophy is. I believe that businesses do business and governments govern. I don't believe that governments should pick and choose who should get a upward advantage over the next business person. Everybody should be treated equally. I don't think that government should be selecting this insurance company or this hardware store or that grocery store or that convention center or that hotel to receive funds at the detriment of those that they will be in competition with. That's just me.
Well, I'm speaking from District 2. It's not been equitable with any distribution of funds. The CRA only goes to Orange Avenue. We have 3 main corridors that bring in a lot of people in Tallahassee: Lake Bradford Road, Woodville Highway, and Crawfordville Road. Woodville Highway has been approved by the state to be widened, and with that, I think that leaves the door wide open to entrepreneurship, new businesses. I sure would like to see an old-time family restaurant. I know they're the most difficult business to get into, but we used to have Crossway, and you could meet so many people and talk about things there on Sunday mornings and during the week. But Woodville Highway is something you need to think about, and we need to open it up for businesses, and I guess that's all I have to say.
And that's what this question is. It says, do you support spending the $20 million local tax dollars, the Blueprint money for economic development, to fund the proposed convention center, which will be owned and managed by Florida State University?
We'll raise $90 million over the course of the lifetime.
Yes.
And that nearly 30% of it will be used for the convention center. No, I'm not prepared to say that. There's a lot of deliberation that needs to go into this, and again, it's trying to pick winners and losers. And I can tell you, God rest his soul, I just drove by it the other day. Herb Chandler's place, it's still there and vacant, big old hotel. You know, I'm just looking at that, and government generally does it. If it takes government support, then it doesn't meet the due diligence necessary for regular financing, then it becomes a uphill battle for it to survive. So at this moment in time, no, I'm not ready to commit to something like that. Thank you.
So $20 million on a convention center at the Civic Center or Arena District, I'm assuming. We have an Arena District plan for the Civic Center. It includes additional space for conventions, as well as a new School of Business with Florida State and various other projects. It's going to be a game changer for downtown. I guess the idea is that if we invest the $20 million, the return to the community would be, I guess, many times fold of what we invest. The idea is that we want to bring conventions to our city. We need to talk to the state of Florida about hosting more of those here. The associations, the state government, they play a large role in the type of community we are. And by all means, we should have the infrastructure, the facilities to support hosting events, because it's going to bring money into our community to not only support our tax base, but our small businesses. So I would definitely be open to considering investing the $20 million. I would want more details.
Well, I'm for investing the $20 million. You think about all the businesses that will benefit from what's going to be going on at the Civic Center. You're going to have restaurants, you're going to have hotels, you're going to have shopping. I can't say anything more than, yes, I agree with the $20 million investment.
The initial economic impact of building a center that size will be substantial for our local economy. However, there needs to be deep study into whether the end result will pay off. Someone's mentioned that we have many of those buildings that are vacant that were built to impact our economy locally here in Tallahassee, and they sit vacant. I do not believe at this time that I can support that sort of investment.
I would want more information too. The other thing that I think is important in answering this question is it's based on interpretation. I had one county official tell me that anything could pretty well be looked at as a possibility with this $90 million coming down the pike. The part that concerns me is the process. How much input have you had? We have a lot of needs, not only in this county, but specifically in District 2 for our people, including infrastructure, of which there is none. And just as one example, there were like 100 fire hydrants. It doesn't seem like a big deal if you're not in a rural community, but 100 fire hydrants are on the books to go in. You know how many are in District 2? 1. You know why? Because there's no infrastructure. That's the kind of stuff. I think there's some core services that we need to take care of, and I would want more information about this expenditure before I voted one way or the other.
The question is, the county and city have created a new economic development organization, the Office of Economic Vitality. Do you think this is a good idea, and what do you hope it can accomplish?
Well, I'm hoping that it can create jobs. That should be the primary focus. Not just any type of job, but the type of jobs that we've long clamored for, the green jobs, the technology jobs, those jobs that play well with our magnetic resource at the Mag Lab, our desire to keep our community clean, our air clean. So, you know, technology jobs, high-tech jobs, high-paying jobs, particularly in our district, because our district is home to the airport. And around the airport, they're going to develop 1,000 acres. We've got lots of good transportation infrastructure in our district. Capitol Circle, I-10, Highway 20, Crawfordville Road, you've heard it. We've got the car dealerships in our district, and I'd like to see a lot more done to, put our car dealerships on the map for regional growth, because we need to bring in money from the outside of Leon County to grow our economy, to grow our local economy. So I'd like to see that office do everything it can to create local jobs at the lowest possible expense to taxpayers.
Well, there has been a lot of criticism about the organization, and I guess that's why they reorganized. So there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of eyes on that. Speaking from District 2, like I said before, I haven't seen any equity, any distribution of funds where I live. I live on the very edge of Lake Munson, so I live in a more urban metropolitan area than the rural further out on Highway 20 back down Spring Hill Road. We do have issues that need to be addressed, and people are scratching at the surface and not thinking about it. It's our water qualities. We need to look into how are we going to fund fixing our septic tanks that are leaching into our water. How are we going to help the people that are economically depressed that cannot afford that? Are we going to get grants? Are we going to take this $300,000 for a consultant fee and help people get new septic tanks that need them, that are failing? There's just a litany of things that we need to do, and like I said before, you can't create a business without families, and without a good educational system, they're not going to come.
I think the only way that it's going to be successful is to invite more, we've talked about this already, invite more stakeholders to the table. We have to have input from citizens as well as business owners, both small and large, in our community. Having a small select group of people making decisions for our entire county and our city of Tallahassee is a very dangerous road to travel down, because individual invested interests quickly become the topics of discussion. We have an enormous amount of natural resources in the District 2 community. I would love to see money spent on advertising those, St. Mark's Trail, as well as Lakes Bradford, Lake Talquin, Lake Munson, as she mentioned. There are a tremendous amount of opportunities for children, families, and folks to visit our community. I would like for that to be a part of the discussion as well. Without having multiple stakeholders and people that have more than one objective, be it personal or private in manner, is going to be key to the council succeeding.
I think the good news is, and hopefully what'll be different, is having folks come together to discuss this. My understanding is that the entire county and city commissions are on this particular agency, and I think that's good. I think there's much to be done, and partnership and coordinated efforts in so many different arenas is what's lacking. So I'm looking forward to a different outcome than the one we had with what this replaced. Thank you.
My concern with the new Economic Vitality Group is that if you remember the graphic that was shown in the local newspaper, the Tallahassee Democrat, it showed a graphic that was the center and spokes of a wheel. And it looked something like this. And in that graphic, it showed the economic vitality in the center, and every spoke on that wheel was either a nonprofit or some sort of governmental entity, except for one down here, and it was called the Chamber of Commerce. I will be advocating that business interest is at the table when we're discussing economic concerns for this community, and not just have a group that is made up of a bureaucracy. Thank you.
The question is, what do you specifically hope to accomplish during your term in office if you're elected?
I believe, again, I'll mention first and foremost is safety of our citizens, their welfare, and eventually their prosperity. I think that people need to feel safe in their communities. They need to feel safe at their playgrounds. They need to feel safe in their schools. I've spent 24 years ensuring the safety of children in schools, but I feel like the impact that I can have at the county commission level will be far greater. Again, I would look forward to hoping to accomplish working with the county commission. I want to mention again that just being commissioner for District 2 doesn't just make you represent the citizens of District 2. You work with a county commission, a group of commissioners, to make decisions that affect the entire county. Everyone in here will be affected by those decisions. I look forward to serving and keeping those children and families safe, providing them recreational opportunities, and improving business opportunities, while giving people a chance for the American dream, which is prosperity.
Safety is a priority with me as well, in our homes, our roads, and our communities. Part of that depends on economic development, because when people have jobs that they can count on and incomes, there is less crime. There is more safety. I think that the legislature, and I gotta track this down because I'm like, whose infinite wisdom was it to designate Highway 20 as an example as a scenic highway so it can't be 4-lane? It can, however, have more turn lanes and there can be more consideration about safety. I think we need to have continued job creation, training and retention, and we need to coordinate those efforts. It's important to me that we have prevention and constructive activities for youth. It's going to make a huge difference. We have both in Woodville and out Highway 20 crime that needs to be looked at that will make a difference for our community.
Since 2005, District 2 has seen extraordinary losses in unemployment rates, poverty rates, business closures, home vacancies, and the sort. The Distress Community Index is a Washington-based study group that is nonpartisan and studies zip codes throughout the United States for their economic state.
I agree with those who say economic development, job creation is the key to the future. In terms of answering the question as to what I would do as commissioner in my first term, or a goal of mine, it has long been a goal of mine to see a discount carrier or very low-cost airfares return to Tallahassee. We've not had those airfares since AirTran left us in 2004. As a result, we've got a huge impediment to job creation. Companies say it's too expensive to fly in and out of Tallahassee. It's too expensive to get people in and out of here for tourism. That needs to change. It makes no sense that Delta has cheaper flights out of Valdosta than they do out of Tallahassee. Tallahassee is an isolated market. We've got to have a way to get people here from distances far away.
I would like to see the revitalization of our existing neighborhoods. The neighborhood that I live in is well over 50 years old. I live in a house that is absolutely wonderful and built by a man that couldn't read or write, but it's probably more solid than a lot of buildings today. I would also like to see a walk-in emergency center on the outer fringe. Right now, it's kind of difficult if you have an accident or something happens to you to getting your child or yourself into town and getting emergency help. Ambulances do take a long time to get where they need to go, and sometimes you don't necessarily need an ambulance, but you do need to go to a walk-in emergency center. I would also like to see the water quality being looked at and make it a long-term goal to make sure that we all have drinking water, because let me tell you, that's how we exist. Water is the elixir of life, and we have to have clean drinking water for ourselves and for all the creatures that are out there. And of course, we eat creatures too. But I cannot promise a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage like Herbert Hoover did in 1928. And I can't promise to build 300 brand new homes or create 50 new businesses. But I can promise to work with the county commission and represent the people of District 2.
We're going to end up with the closing remarks, and we'll start with you, Nancy, and take 2 minutes and do anything you'd like to say in the closing remarks.
I've been a resident of the South Side for 45 years, and I chose to do so. Like I said, I would like to see the revitalization of our existing neighborhoods that are 50 years old and plus. This is in the most urban and metropolitan area. We also do have some neighborhoods that do need to have being looked in all the way from Crooked Road, which is from the Ocklawackney River, all the way to Crawfordville Road, where we have dilapidated homes, we have houses that are burnt to the ground and they're sitting there, we have businesses that are empty that have been vandalized. I'd like to see them tore down. When you have businesses, derelict businesses or homes, that invites drug dealers to drop off things and have other people pick them up. I had that happen in my neighborhood until I got a hold of the code enforcement board. I couldn't go out in my front yard at 7 o'clock in the morning because they were picking up drugs that they dropped that night before the house was finally demolished, but it took 5 years. I do support the Leon County Sheriff's Department. I am a alumni of the Citizens Academy. I suggest if y'all are bored and don't have anything to do and want to learn about the Sheriff's Department, to take that class. It is absolutely wonderful. I support the Sheriff's Department and all their wants on their want list that haven't been fulfilled. I would take some of those consultant fees and give it to them for the equipment that they need to run the Sheriff's Department. I'm Nancy Calhoun. Please vote for me for District 2.
I would just share again 3 main priorities for my campaign. First is creating a safer environment on both our roads and our neighborhoods. Secondly, building relationships with businesses to encourage responsible business development in District 2. And then thirdly, providing more recreational opportunities. I believe those first 2 things, where we have safe neighborhoods and we have recreational opportunities, are a front-end solution to some of the problems we have with crime in our own community here in Leon County as well as in Tallahassee. I believe in education programs that will allow students to become certified, because not every student should have a college degree and not every student is cut out to be a college graduate. I believe that we need to have a push in our county, not only in our school system, towards vocational certifications as well as industry certifications, creating students that are ready to take on and be valuable, skilled workers in our community. Lastly, I have a distinct advantage over the other candidates here today, and it's not my hair, but every day I get to go to work as principal of Fort Braden School, and I get to see the future of Leon County. And I have to worry about, are those children going to have jobs in this community? Are those children and their families going to have meals and dinners to eat that night? Are their parents going to be able to have and keep a good paying job and be able to support them? A lot of times the hierarchy of needs with those children, education is way down the list. I look forward to serving District 2 and opening up those opportunities for not only the folks in District 2, but also all over Leon County. I'm Jimbo Jackson. I appreciate your vote.
This group has got humor. You know, I drove around, as I have done many times in District 2, and the primary responsibility of the District 2 Commissioner is to, in fact, represent District 2. The first thing and the main thing is we've got to communicate the urgency and the need. We talk about the South Side, we talk about the CRA in downtown. I don't know where the artificial lines get drawn. As I drove around, tears actually came down my cheeks when I looked at some of the living conditions that folks are in. It includes, because of joblessness and hunger and lack of family support and children in need and that kind of thing. It includes all of that. The same thing is true the Woodville way. There are needs that our students have that need to be looked at, as well as the people in District 2, while representing, obviously, the District 2 Commissioner is 1 vote of 7 on the County Commission. So playing as a team makes a huge difference. District 2 has urgent needs in terms of community development, in terms of safety, in terms of family, in terms of continued education and resource development. I look forward to being a full-time advocate, particularly for the District 2 County Commission, as well as to represent you all when that's the prudent and logical, smart thing to do. Thank you so much. Remember, Kirk works.
To close, it's my mission to foster private sector investment in our community. In doing so, it is my intent to lure your investment to District 2. More than any handout, District 2 needs your support for job development. Why should you choose District 2 to expand? Because of the great opportunity to capture university business, FAMU and Florida State University business. Because of the great training centers located in District 2, TCC, Lively, and Goodwill Industries. Because of the airport corridor, Innovation Park, Commonwealth Park. Because of the great ecotourism opportunities, National Forest, Lakes Talquin and Munson, Leon Sinks. Let me be your advocate. Let me be your partner. As your advocate and partner, I will need your help to stop the madness that you see posted before you. Help District 2 fulfill the Just Start plan. Help District 2 reverse business closures. Help District 2 reverse home vacancies and degradation. Help District 2 reverse growth in unemployment, poverty, hunger, and crime. The only growth District 2 has had in the last 10 years is in unemployment, hunger, poverty, and crime. This madness must stop. Help me stop it. I asked you earlier to go to the dance with me. Know this, I will always go home with the date I took. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll be serious. So we've talked about a lot of the issues affecting our community: increased crime, the need to improve our schools, joblessness, hunger, and the need for environmental protection. We're here today because we have a decision to make. Right? And I touched on it in the beginning. We can adopt the old school way that has gotten us to this point now, where we don't have the money to address the issues that we're shedding tears over. We're driving through communities that we cannot afford to fix. Or we can go the approach of smart growth. I adopted this platform for a reason. I'm a student of urban and regional planning. And first I want to make it perfectly clear. I am not a no growth guy, and I'm not a pro growth guy. I am a smart growth guy. I'm a commercial realtor, so it's in my interest that our community continues to grow. I cover growth and development for a living as well. If we're not growing, I'm not making any money, so we need to grow. We just need to grow the right way. We need to grow in a way that we can put people in communities and improve the community and that person's quality of life at the same time, while not creating a new burden for our taxpayers. We have areas of our community, Kurt just talked about them, that you would drive through and cry over. We can fix that if we direct our growth to those areas. We already have the streets, the sidewalks, the street lights, the utility services, and the bus routes. On top of all the other urban services people require for a living. We just need to incentivize growth in those areas. I encourage you to visit tjforleon.com. I talk about my platform. I talk about a vision for the community, which is bright, but it will take making a smart choice for this election, a choice that will save taxpayers money and grow the community the right way. I'm TJ Lewis, and I ask for your support in this election. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next month. Milt?